Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session we are discussing from the 39th verse of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Punascha yachamanaya jatarupam adat prabhu tato anritam madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. The meaning of this 39th verse is, the personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, King Parikshit gave him permission to live where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy and enmity. So, if you remember the previous verse, Kali was given 4 places by Maharaj Parikshit, where gambling goes on, where drinking liquor is indulged in, where there is illicit connection with women, prostitution, and where there is animal slaughter. Now, Kali Purusha asked something more, because at the time Parikshit was ruling, Kali Purusha could not find in Parikshit's kingdom any place where these 4 activities were going on. So he asked for some place, some other place other than the place where these 4 activities are, sinful activities are indulged in. And because the Kali Purusha had surrendered to Parikshit and he was begging for one more place, some other place, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold. Now, where there is gold means where people have accumulated gold for purposes other than devotional service, other than for serving Krishna, other than Krishna conscious purpose. If they have got gold accumulated in their home or in their state anywhere, then that place also Parikshit gave Kali Purusha a place to reside. Why? Why was Kali Purusha given a 5th place? Because wherever there is gold which is not utilized for devotional service, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy and enmity. These 5 things are there wherever gold is accumulated and not utilized for devotional service. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, although Maharaj Parikshit gave Kali permission to live in 4 places, it was very difficult for Kali Purusha to find the places, because during the reign of Maharaj Parikshit, there were no such places. This is called the perfect rule of a perfect king, a pure devotee. So during Maharaj Parikshit's time, during Yudhishthira Maharaj's time, during the time of Ambarish Maharaj, during the time of all those great kings who were ruling strictly according to the Vedic injunctions and who were themselves pure devotees, then the entire kingdom, there were no places where such sinful activities were indulged in by anybody else. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Kali asked the king to give him something practical which could be utilized for his nefarious purposes. Kali Purusha is described as Adharma Bandhu, friend of Adharma, irreligion. So wherever Kali Purusha resides, he will spread adharma. And Parikshit Maharaj did not want his citizens to get corrupted, to get influenced by adharma influence of Kali. So therefore, Kali asked the king, you have practically cheated me. You didn't give me any place. So then Parikshit Maharaj, because Kali had surrendered, he gave him a 5th place. That place where gold is accumulated for non-devotional purposes. So Prabhupada says in the purport further, Maharaj Parikshit thus gave Kali permission to live in a place where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there are all the above mentioned 4 things, and over and above them there is enmity also. What are the 4 defects of accumulating gold for any purpose other than devotional service? There will be falsity, anritam, madam, intoxication, kamam, lust, and enviousness. So these 4 defects of accumulating wealth or gold for any purpose other than devotional service. These 4 things are there. And also the 5th thing, over and above these 4, there is enmity also that will breed among the family members, or among the citizens of the state, or among the members of a community or nation, or even internationally. These 4 defects will be seen in the people if there is gold or wealth accumulated without being used for devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada further says, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, gold encourages falsity, intoxication, prostitution, envy and enmity. This is what the Bhagavatam teaches. If somebody accumulates gold and does not use gold for devotional service, such gold encourages 5 things: falsity, intoxication, prostitution, envy and enmity. Even a gold standard exchange in currency is bad. Now Prabhupada is talking of the government policy. Gold standard currency is based on falsehood because the currency is not on a par with the reserved gold. Now that's the system most countries have, including India, that they have currency notes issued by the government. Now, what is the value of that currency note, the piece of paper? Now they say, the government says, that this paper has got a value because it is based on the reserved gold that is kept stored in the government safe deposit vaults. But the reality is, the government issues currency notes not exactly based on the value of the gold stored in their vaults. They issue much more currency notes than the gold they have in their vaults. So Prabhupada says the basic principle is falsity. How gold encourages falsity is a good example here, right here. The basic principle is falsity because currency notes are issued in value beyond that of the actual reserved gold. For example, if let us say the government has gold worth, let's say 100 million rupees, just to give you an example. If the total currency notes in circulation, printed currency notes, is more than 100 million rupees, then that is a falsity. And that's what exactly is happening. So Prabhupada says, currency notes are issued in value beyond that of the actual reserved gold. So there is falsity right here by the government itself. See, the government should themselves not be practicing falsity, and they should regulate the citizens to avoid falsity. Now here government itself is practicing falsity when they issue currency notes beyond the value of the reserved gold. So what happens if they issue such currency? This artificial inflation of currency, that means they are issuing more notes than what they should be issuing. This is called artificial inflation. By the authorities, encourages prostitution of the state economy. What is the meaning of prostitution of the state economy? The state economy is completely spoiled. It is ruined. The state economy is ruined. What happens? How is the economy ruined? Prabhupada says, the price of commodities becomes artificially inflated because of bad money or artificial currency notes. See, if people have more currency notes in their hand than the value of the goods that are available. Now, these currency notes are just a medium of exchange. So if I have currency notes worth let's say 10,000 rupees. If these 10,000 rupees can purchase some goods worth what they say is worth 10,000, but if the equation is not commensurate with actual total value of the goods, then there is inflation, artificial inflation in the price of the commodities. The price of the commodities will go up because the supply of the goods will not correspond with the supply of the currency notes. There will be more currency notes in supply and the goods will be less. So what happens? People's buying power will exhaust all the goods and people will have money but there will be no goods. So the price of the commodities will naturally go up when there is scarcity. Bad money drives away good money. So this is what is called as bad money. The currency notes issued in excess of the value of the stored gold. So Prabhupada says, instead of paper currency, actual gold coins should be used for exchange. Whatever the government has got, the reserved gold, they should make gold coins and that should be the currency. That should be the medium of exchange. And this will stop the prostitution of gold. Gold will not be misused anymore. Gold ornaments for women may be allowed by control, not by quality but by quantity. Now what about women using gold ornaments? That was always there in the Vedic culture. So now how can government avoid people accumulating too much gold in the form of golden ornaments for women? So government has to regulate by quantity the gold that people possess. Otherwise, if they possess too much of gold, that will simply lead to lust, envy, enmity, etc. So by restricting the quantity of gold people can have, this will discourage lust, envy and enmity. When there is actual gold currency in the form of coins, the influence of gold in producing falsity will automatically cease, will automatically stop. Nobody can cheat. If there are gold coins for currency, then nobody can cheat. Neither the government nor the people can cheat. Now, simply because they are issuing paper currency, not in equality with the value of reserved gold, so therefore there is artificial inflation. So Prabhupada's recommendations are very practical and That is why you find in the Vedic culture they had only gold coins. They did not have currency notes in those times, because of which there was no artificial inflation at all. Now you can see in every country where they have currency notes, they have so much of inflation, so much of inflation. The value of the currency notes, which is promised by the government, is not on par with the value of the commodities or the goods that people require to purchase with the money that they have. And that's why there's so much of inflation. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.